Are we on? Are we on? Apparently we are. Hello, everyone. Good day. Good morning. Welcome to the program. It is Sunday morning, of course, pre-American Thanksgiving. Canadians already had their Thanksgiving, and they were just like, "There's not much to it," so don't get too excited. Hello to everybody in on YouTube watching. Hello to everybody in Spaces listening. I assume your ears are up to the phone. And then every time somebody tries to talk to you, you give them this one moment as a guy on the phone. And you pretend that you're talking to someone. And I'm going on and on and on. So there's just this constant stream, this monologue, if you will. Nevertheless, let us get a look at the underwear today. They're fun stuff. It is an ice cream pattern. Not realistic, though. This is seems to be a waffle cone here. And then there's colors underneath. I don't know if that's cream. Like a whip colors is blue and red. And it's fun. We all like ice cream. I can't tell you the last time I had a cone. It's so not necessary. And it's the only thing for a cone to last. It's basically edible styrofoam, quite frankly. And that's the only way they could survive. But they're not good. I think we should make better cones. I think it's time we really reinvent the cone. And I'm not just talking about, make it out of another material. They make it out of that waffle, and then they'll dip it in chocolate like it's not board dipped in chocolate. Make it out of chocolate. Let's take the risk. Make the whole thing out of chocolate. Throw away the cone. It's crunchy. It doesn't even, how do I say this? It hinders the integrity of the ice cream. And of course, since I mentioned it months ago, my favorite ice cream flavor is Spumoni. I only had it once, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I've never been able to find it since. So maybe today I will go driving around just yelling Spumoni out the window. I think that's very helpful. But there are people here. Ty, say, good morning, RJ. How are you feeling today? I'm longing for, Spumoni, quite frankly. Ty said, are you ready to go on an adventure later? I'm not ready to go on an adventure now. Tom said, good morning, RJ, and good morning, chat. I want to see how your Eric Johnson photo shoot went. Yes, I'm happy to. As some of you may know, this week I had a photo shoot with famed photographer Eric Johnson. If you're not familiar, look him up. Not only is he famed, but he also takes good pictures. Because you could be famous and take bad pictures too. Being famous is not an indication of quality. However, he's both famed and good. And he's shot a lot of famous people, like that even means anything, because famous people get their pictures taken all the time. But he shoots good pictures of famous people. And we connected and we collaborated, as they say. And shit got weird. I'm not afraid to say. We took some really weird, strange, unusual pictures to the point where I saw them and it took me a couple days to get used to them because I put myself in his capable hands, so it was not how I would have presented myself at all. You know, how you normally present yourself. I looked and I said, what do you want to do? And he did. And now we have these wonderful photographs, which I'm sure you'll be seeing at some such juncture. Nobody takes photographs that are that weird and then just don't post them. Tom said, we did this already. Positively E has a cat emoji. Clinty said, hello there, RJ. How are you doing these days? These days are... How are you doing these days? You make it sound like we haven't talked in 50 years. Eric Stanish says, morning, everyone. And of course, Eric used to be Eric Stan. And he was big on being a Stan, and then he got insulted. He wasn't crazy about it. There was an insecurity seeped in, and he became Eric Stanish. Sean said, hey, occulties. Hi, RJ. Good morning. Good morning, Mia. Oh, God, the chat is hopping. Let me get through this quick. Positively E said, hi. Susie said, good morning, RJ. Have a nice, relaxing Sunday. So Sierra said, good morning, everyone. Nail said, good morning. Rob Shuttleworth, which is a very comedically British name. Oh, Mr. Shuttleworth. Hello on this, the only good reason to be up this early on a Sunday. That's not true. You can stretch outside and appreciate the dew. There's no dew at this hour. Dew is like 6 a.m. It's 9:30. You should be up already. Erin has ice cream emojis and says, cute, thank you. Mia said, better lighting. Val said, good morning, friends. Shaunica said, good morning, y'all. Erica Renee said, cones always come broken in the bag and never stay fresh. Well, you don't buy cones and take them home. You can't, ice cream like that is shit you can only get at a store or a truck. Don't be trying to make your ice cream at home. It's a little ridiculous. Bring home the ice. Like, you can't. Cone is an externally purchased. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you do. And that bag, it's never going to last in the bag. Poor Girl said, sugar cones are yummy. I totally disagree. Spot Center said, is there a fudgesicle in the back? Well, that's a little forward of you, Spot Center. Rob said, the Conery in Brooklyn makes incredible flavored cones. A few hipstery, one of my favorite words, artisanal ice cream places use them. Well, so if you want to reimagine the cone, go to the Conery. They seem to specialize in it. I wonder if they make other cones too, the ones you put on the street, for the mark construction. Tony said, good morning, RJ, and everyone else less important than RJ. So all of us, basically. Tony, I want you to understand, when I at no point did I say I am more important than other people. My thesis in life is that we're all equally terribly unimportant. And I want you to embrace that. We're all together. We're all holding hands, and they're clamming, and we're not thrilled about it. Leo said, I think this must be the 1-year anniversary of me saying that Ryback was making angry tweets about you, and he wasn't, and everyone was mad at me. That's something I would take seriously. I'm sensitive enough to take it seriously. Leo, you did not know my limits or my boundaries. You tested them unknowingly. I know you were well-intentioned. You were trying to be amicable and affable and, meet me halfway. And you learned my limits. And the limit is Ryback. So thank you. I appreciate it so much. K-Dis said, well, hello. Erica's using my emoji. Mia said, my favorite is cookies and cream with a waffle cone. And I don't think so. I think you're wrong. I'll say it. The waffle cone is not a good cone, nor is it a decent waffle. If it was made out of a real waffle. Mina Coletta said, good morning, RJ. I know you say your target demo 65 plus, but I'm knitting while I watch. Does that help? Yes, you're aging into it. You're going to make a great 65-year-old. When you get, and I feel this way about myself too, you get older and you go, oh my God, now I can just do everything I always wanted to do and everyone thought I was weird. It's like, hey, you want to go out to the bar tonight and have a good fun dancing time? No, I want to sit home and watch the Lawrence Welk show. And everyone's like, you're insane. Then I'll get to 60, 70, and nobody goes out and everybody watches the Lawrence Welk show. So that's really going to be my prime. I'm like 5 years old in my years right now. Mina Coletta, by the way, drew that wonderful high anxiety coffee alternate poster. And I may be contacting you very soon because I'm in love with it and I think something needs to be done with it. Nail said, you've clearly never mingled with the hipsters in Williamsburg at Smorgasburg. Smorgasburg? It's like a Pittsburgh of just meats and cheeses. Rob said, we'll take you to the L&B for Spumoni next time you're around. I am in the mood for making plans I never come through on today. I fucking love that. I would say every week, at least 2 or 3 plans are made tentatively that I never even lean towards making happen, ever. Well, why don't we do this? Sure, sounds great. Okay, I'll talk to you then. And then that's basically as good as a goodbye. That's as good as I never will speak to you again. Leo said, are you friends with Mulleted Tit? Theo Vaughn? No, but David is. And I almost met him once, I think. Maybe I was supposed to be on the show or I wasn't in town. It was something like, hey, do you want to whatever? And it's like, I'm not in town. He's like, okay. I don't know him, unfortunately. I'll tell you who else doesn't sound that thrilled with me. Seth Meyers. I don't know if you've seen the clip of David on the show, the late time with Seth Meyers. But Yeah, David's like, oh, I'm supposed to get RJ City on the show. And I'm sorry. Blah, blah, blah. And then Seth was like, next time, RJ. Which is basically like, go fuck yourself. Like, I heard the intonation. Like, message received. But there will be a next time. I will be on your show. And you were going to absolutely regret blowing me off. You should have taken me seriously when you were not supposed to. Oh, Lord. I'm so far behind. I'm getting there. We're getting better. Waffles. Val, Pot for Pancakes. Hey, did everyone know Val Pancakes now has shirts? I did not. And now all of you know that Val Pancakes now has shirts. Tiffany said, good morning, everyone. Christine said, maybe you can find Spumoni in Woodbridge, an Italian neighborhood near where I grew up. I looked. They don't have it. Spumoni is like, you have to be like a mobster, fedora-wearing, machine gun-carrying mobster to eat Spumoni anymore. Like, that is how far back. You have to say use. Rob said, Jewel, Albertson's grocery store, has Spumoni all the time. Where is this? Where is this, Mr. Shuttleworth? Mia said, I missed the underwear modeling. Can I see it again? Jesus, Mia, the demands. Who ordered more ice cream? Again, we're talking about ice cream. Not that we have to, but they're fun and they're hip. And I'm having a good time. You know, in New York, I would always get ice cream from the ice cream truck because for some reason, maybe because the distribution center was there, they would always have the WWE ice cream when the rest of the world like just stopped. They're like, okay, this is stupid. Like they had it well into the 2000s. I remember being too old to have wrestling ice cream and having a Cena or a Jericho. Spot Turner said, did Rip Impact teach all of Canada how to wrestle? And my thoughts on hair plugs. No, he didn't, but he taught a surprisingly large amount of people, a wide berth of people. What are my thoughts on hair plugs? I haven't thought about them. If they work for you, good for you. If it works, you know, people do odd things to their bodies all the time, myself included. So knock yourself out. Leo said there's a British comedy character called John Shuttleworth, who's a middle-aged man who's trying to be a pop singer. Mr. Shuttleworth in his brand new album, Shuttleworth Sings. Jordan said, what to do, RJ? And I don't know how to answer that. Andrea Honkst said, good morning to you. Erica said, I understand about cones now. Nail said, RJ, Rob and I have been discussing that wartime, high-pitched, warbly female voice that mainly sister groups used to sing in. Is it the same thing as the gentleman toad voice that disappeared? This week on my podcast, I talked about a voice that doesn't exist anymore. It's a male voice. It's like, the costumes, the scenery, the makeup, the props. Like that voice was hot for a while. And then they wiped it off the face of the earth. They were like, this shit's stupid. Everybody stop singing like this. This is dumb. And I was wondering, I put it out to everybody, is there a female equivalent of that voice? And Nell seems to think it's the wartime high-pitched wobbly, we'll meet again. I don't think I can do it. No, I can't do it. Maybe, although I feel like you can still find more people who sing like that, who warble, than go, which is I call the handsome frog voice. But please, everyone weigh in. Tony said, let me enjoy my biases. Fine, fair enough. Mr. Shuttleworth said, yes, I found out from a chat on Twitch that there's a famous comedian with the last name Shuttleworth. Who knew? But Leo knew. Susie said, thank you, RJ. You always take time every Sunday for a good conversation. Well, it's kind of the point here. Positively E said, is there a Rye front? If you approach Rye back head on, he has no idea what to do. You got to get him from behind, and you put your hands over his eye, and you go, who's this? And he will get it. His back knows. Nail said, if there is hope, he is small and calm and never hungry. What? Oh, that's Rye front. I understand. Ricky Lynn said, good morning. Good morning to you. Where are we going? I've missed. Leo said, I've seen John Shuttleworth live 3 times. Shuttleworth live. If RJ was British, he would be someone he would be obsessed with. Well, I'm going to look. I'm half something. Nell said, I'm drinking high anxiety. And guess what? I am drinking high anxiety coffee too. You can get it at rootlesscoffee.com. It's hip. People are loving it. People are having a swell time. I may say, I think we are in our final run of all that. So there may be some new bags coming soon. There may be some special editions in the new year. So my advice to you boys and girls, farewelling, whatever, coffee drinkers, get it now while supplies last. Do they last? I think it's just made to order, but whatever. Harley said, I'm not 65 or older, but I can forget what I'm talking about while talking about it. Impressive, huh? You know what I do that people hate? I will do a callback. I will pick up a conversation that I started having hours, if not days before, and I expect the person to know what I'm talking about. It'll be out of nowhere, and I'll say, but here is the positive thing about Jim Belushi. And then people are like, what? When was this? When did we miss the Belushi train? And I have the schedule of everything I plan to talk about, that day. And Leo said, when David finally gets you on a talk show, it'll be Bill Maher. Shudder. I think it's going to be, let me throw this out. Does anybody remember late 90s, early 2000s perhaps? There was like a male version of The View. I can't remember the name of it. It had Mario Lopez, Danny Bonaducci, for sure. Those two, 100%. I have no idea. Maybe Donny Osmond, but I may also be thinking of Donnie Marie's talk show. Because when Rosie and Oprah left, a million people were like, we got to get on this. And Martin Short had a daytime show, and Tony Danza and the Osmonds. And there was a male view. It wasn't called The Man View, but it was the same. It was like 5 guys, but it was in the middle of the day. Everyone's like, oh, fuck, do I want to... I can't think of any time of day where I want to hear Danny Bonaducci's opinion on the fucking news. But, Leo said, I had pancakes for breakfast this morning. Good for you. I had chunks of chicken breast with everything bagel seasoning. And I think it's so fantastic. The guy who made the everything bagel was so limited. He had such a narrow, closed mind. He was like garlic, sesame, poppy, a little salt, and that's it. That is all I ever want to see for the rest of my fucking... This is everything. This is absolutely everything we have in the store. What more do you want from me? And when you have the everything bagel seasoning, everything can become everything. Anything can become everything. Does that make any sense to anyone? Rob said, we are neither Italian nor mobsters, but we actually do say use. Well, then you're just uncouth, Rob. Nail said, when I was a kid, I'm going to read this like Tony Randall. When I was a kid, I was in a marching band. At competitions, we never won, but we always, quote, got a mention from the judges. And I would proudly tell everyone I got a mention. Seth gave you a mention. No, Seth didn't give me a mention. He did not set that up. David wedged it in. Like a shoehorn on a shoe that's too small. He wedged it in, and Seth had to get from there to the end of the show. I will say credit to the editor for not editing that out completely. Jeff said, I used to work at Jewel Oscada in Illinois. Well, maybe I have to go next time I'm in Chicago. Positively E said, I saw Hollywood Rock ice cream bars at the time. Same era, exact same era, like WrestleMania 19, WrestleMania 20. That was like the last run of the ice cream. Rob Shuttleworth said, no, Mr. Shuttleworth, please. I'm a teacher on Thanksgiving break in the Chicagoland area. Well, if it's in Chicago, then maybe I'll have to go to Jewel and get some spumoni. SM said, I'm not looking forward to Thanksgiving this week. So much work making that meal and a bunch of annoying family members. The best part, SM, is that you don't have to do it. It's really another day. And now it's even the day where, like, the history of it is, very dubious and unsavory. And, like, we can totally lose this fucking day. Really. We have the Black Friday. We have the Cyber Monday. That's busy shit to get ready for Christmas. The American Thanksgiving is so fucking close to Christmas. It's so ridiculous. Just put it together. Make a bigger Christmas. Give Christmas like a full week or a week and a half. What is this shit? We can lose this together. We can stop celebrating Thanksgiving. I think I will tweet about the parade though, because there's going to be a nice Willard Scott tribute, I'm sure. Pogirl said, ice cream from the truck tasted so much better. The first one was free. Then they started charging more and more. Wow. You really scam these people. Jeff said, hi, RJ. I'm only watching for a little bit. I'm in an Uber on my way to work. Apologies to the both of you. You overslept, so you're running late. You don't have to apologize. That's what happens. I don't demand full attention from anyone, especially when you have, by all means, if you have better things to do, I encourage you to do them. You know, I don't want to say I missed work because I watched your show. Rob said, you're not a turkey dealer. Do you have a turkey dealer who can hook you up, SM, and a potatoes dealer or a gravy dealer? Of course, SM, if we all remember, has a croissant dealer. And that's a gateway into muffins and cornbread, so be careful. Positively E said, the Andrews sisters, they had that voice. Yeah, I guess they did. Spot Center said, who was, oh Lord, I've missed this. Who was, we're going to get back there. We're going to find it. Who was the most cantankerous bastard backstage? Someone no one could talk to kind of guy, very gruff. See, and maybe it is just all in how you approach people. I've never really had that kind of person. When I talk, like, generally speaking, even the people that most people don't like have been okay with me to the point where I have to go, well, they were nice to me. Like, I can't say anything bad about them. I understand your position. I understand how they could be rude, but I don't really, which makes me come to the conclusion that maybe the most cantankerous person backstage is me. I complain a lot. I think I'm the person I was looking for all along. Sean said the ink spots definitely had some handsome frog voice vibes going on. They're from like the 30s, I think. They were very, very old. And that was like an explosion of frog voices everywhere. Leo said, have you met Ryback? Maybe. We were on a show together for sure. Because I remember watching the match. I think it was like a 3-on-1 kind of thing. I don't remember actually meeting him. And maybe I did meet him. We just didn't have a conversation. Because it was a very big, it was like at a high school gym. There's like multiple locker rooms. So you could totally like never see anyone. Neil said, I have to send some songs. Andrews Sisters is a style. Please send it to me. Neil said, you can stop making the coffee. You can't stop making the coffee now. I'm committed. I won't stop making it. I'm just telling you, if you want, this bag, this run, hop on it. You can buy it in a 1-pound bag also. Rootlesscoffee.com. Whatever grind you want. Or whole bean. Who am I to say? Well, no, I have a lot of coffee. I should be able to say. Ricky said, I definitely remember the Male View. Rob Shuttleworth said the other half. That was the name of the Male View with Danny Bonaducci and Mario Lopez. The fucking other half. Pogirl said, yeah, I remember that talk show because of Bonaducci. Incorrectly spelled. But nevertheless, it doesn't fucking... Him of all people. It doesn't really matter. Maureen said, good morning, oh poop. I'm like, don't say that. Tiffany said the other half. Kata said the other half. I love everyone was like, the other half. We all loved that, the Male View talk show, the other half, that everybody answered at the same time. Missy said it. Leo said, isn't the male version of The View just a dreadful podcast with a studio that looks like a sports bar and they go on about woke or something or other? Yeah, all these woke guys, they should sleep. That'll put them out of business. Leo said, Tony Randall did man versus food style steak eating challenges and nailed them. What? Nail said, why am I talking like Tony Randall? Once you start talking like Tony, you almost can't. Eric Stanish said, I've lost my place. Please don't hate me, but I'm drinking Danhausen Coffee House and I need to order some of yours. You can order them together in bulk, I guess. I don't know if there's a Black Friday sale. It's coming up. Pretty much all shit will be on sale everywhere. So if you wanted it, just wait a couple days. Mia said, I just want a week off work like the school kids get. Just Take it. Oh, my neck hurts. My back hurts. Some routine. SM said, trust me, I've been trying to cancel Thanksgiving since I was in high school. I'm like the Grinch, but for Thanksgiving. And just like him, I've also failed. It's that spirit of Thanksgiving. They love that turkey. Leo said, do you think it was weird that Donnie and Marie sang love songs to each other? It was a common joke that they were incestuous. I remember Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Kroger something. Can't remember his name. And they were on Saturday Night Live. And they were at a Christmas party, Christmas special, and they were singing as Donnie and Marie, and then they started making out. So it was very common even back then. You're not the only one who got that vibe. Jeff said, just got to work. Luckily, I have such an understanding boss. Have a great Sunday, everyone. Don't tell them what you were doing, Jeff. They will fire you on the spot. Rowdy said, it's so funny hearing all this jewel talk. My dad drove a truck for them for 25 years. He must have been a jewelry dealer. Rob said, is cantankerous today's secret word? If so, what do I win? You scream silently to yourself. SM has a song request. Please sing a song about how much Thanksgiving sucks in the voice of John Travolta. Okay. This time of year, it does not fill me with any. Hold on, that's Christopher Walken. The kids, they were walking around, and the turkey, that is Chris. It's just a lighter Christopher Walken. Okay, I just have to embrace it. All right, I'm getting there. My apologies. I'll get there. And I picked the wrong. It was like a new wave. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. This, I see, I've never done a John Travolta singing voice before. Maybe I'll just do like a poem. Oh, this time of year does not fill me with cheer. Everybody wants to sing along, but I think they're quite wrong. When you sit at the table, you're willing, but I'm not able to pass the turkey and to pass the gravy. I find it quite unsavory. I don't like Thanksgiving. No, not one bit. I don't like Thanksgiving. Don't cut me a piece of giblet. I don't want the cranberry sauce because this year I'm the boss. This is not Thanksgiving. It's your welcome giving. I don't like eating mashed taters, so please don't think I'm being a hater. I don't want to watch the football game. All these Thanksgivings are really the same. The floats in the parade, I want to stab them with a knife. This is the last Thanksgiving I will ever have in my life. I hate Thanksgiving and all its sauce, but this year I am the boss because this year it's welcomes giving. That was, I've lost everyone. I've lost everyone listening. I took a risk and I paid the price. It's okay. What are you going to do? But the important thing is SM is happy. Andrea said, if you ever watched Breaking Bonaducci, there's no reason to pay attention to his opinions. Do you remember, Andrea? To me, it was like the first reality show ever was Life with Busey. It was on the Comedy Central. Do you remember that? Am I crazy? Maureen said, I once got to meet Dick Clark, and I saw his wife first. Well, that's exciting. And then she said, and here's a dick. Nails loves that. Dan Housen. Leo said, would you rather date a woman who had a pet tarantula? Nope. I'm going with the woman who has a large collection of Minions merch. 100. That's not even, no question. Absolutely no question. Maureen said, I just saw Hell Comes to Frogtown. It was funny. I feel like those kind of films would have done much better like nowadays. You know what I mean? So a little camp, a little more welcoming to the camp. Leo said, does your mom like Minions? No, she's not a fan. SM enjoyed it. Spotson said, Walken and Travolta need to hang out. Nail said, Travolta freestyle rap. SM likes the fact that I worked in giblets. Minicoletta said, I did not expect to learn that Travolta and Walken's voices are shockingly similar this morning, But Walken is like, wow, wowie. It's like down. Oh, the turkey is up, but they are on the same. Does this make any sense? They're in the same department, just on different levels. Leo said, "Why are American male podcasters fixated trans people in Greta Thunberg in an odd ass way?" See, don't have it's not. It's lazy. They do the math and they go, it would be easier to just to try to pick this and try to make a big, we're very angry thing. And then people will get upset. We'll get hate clicks, which is really stupid because otherwise they have to do the work and come up with interesting topics. And then we'll come up with topics that aren't so interesting and they'll have to deal with it. And that sucks. So they're operating out of fear and laziness. Ricky said, Walken and Travolta talk show will be the next huge SNL sketch. Rob said RC just became a member of the Acclaimed. Rob said he just rhymed tater with hater. What an absolute madman. Andrea said, yes, Busey. It was strange. It was strange, but I also remember I think it was strange because it was the first I remember seeing in that style of reality show, which obviously wasn't a reality show. But I was just like, oh my God. Giblets is a great word. Thank you, Nails. Ryan said, Hell Comes to Frogtown should have been made by the Asylum. Leo said, my mother hates Minions, but likes their banana-flavored Tic Tacs. That's fine. That's fair. Yolanda is here. She said, good morning, fam. Good morning to you. I watched some of Yolanda's Instagram Live rants, different things going on. I try to say hi, but then she's in the middle of a rant and misses it. And I'm like, just enjoy yourself. Mia said, if they made a movie about your life, who would you like to play you? Who would you like to play your parents? Oh, my God. Who should play me? Me now? I'm going to say Bobby Cannavale. My mother will be played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and my father would be played by the guy from Lost, the old man in a wheelchair. Locke from Lost, whatever his name was. Deb Housen here said, good morning. Leo said, isn't Busey that Alley Cat and Effie team? You're thinking of Bussy, which is an old musical starring Van Johnson, and I love Bussy. Andrea said, Bonaducci was absolutely another thing altogether, chugging vodka on the curb and then riding a longboard into traffic. What the fuck? I thought this was just was it at the height of the Osbournes? Was Busey's show before the Osbournes? Because everyone's like, the Osbournes were the first reality show, and I didn't think it was that good. I need to look this up, though. Thank you. Ace just wrote Alley Catch. Ryan said, I'm with Bussy would be the craziest show ever. Nail said John Locke. Yeah, but what was the guy's real... Oh, Terry O'Quinn. Christine said Terry O'Quinn as Papa RJ. Thank you. Sean said clipped and shipped. Nail said, I'm far too good looking to be played by Bobby Cannavale. Well, there's got to be somebody else. Harley said, can you smile for us? No. Let's talk to somebody in the chat. If anybody wants to talk about life or love or I don't fucking know, whatever you want, let me hop on, request. I'll be happy to speak to you. Maureen said, oh gosh, that means he will change his name again. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm thinking about turning babyface. I don't know. Should I do it? Been healed for so long. Maybe I need to change it up. SM said, I had training for work on Monday and Tuesday. Had some very awkward interactions with a coworker and have avoided him for the rest of the week. Would Tom Holland play you? Sure, whatever. Shame we can't get a young David Johansen to play me. I would love that so much. Pogirl said, fake banana flavor, everything. We have a request from Leo. Let's add him. He's connecting all the way. Hello? How are you, Leo?
I'm good. You can hear me? Because I know that there's been... No, I'm not mute, have I?
No, I can hear you clear, and you're doing great. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's not going to be like that JR driveway thing where like I don't answer, and then you're like, "Oh, bless his heart, he couldn't." He got nervous. That's what.
I once called in. I came home. I was a young boy. I wasn't even in high school yet. And we have do you have like a 24-hour news channel by you?
Yeah.
But like a local one? Like this was just basically for Toronto.
No.
And what it normally shows is the weather, traffic, and then they'll have a scroller at the bottom of, breaking news. And sometimes they'll have people they'll have like a little talk show thing on it. And Val Venus was on. And this was Val Venus, like he was still signed at the time. I think he might have been Commissioner Morley. This era of Val. And who can forget it? I certainly can't. And I went, oh my God, and you can call in. So I called in and I got on. And I think I asked him, because I joined the show in progress, I think I asked him a question that he absolutely already answered. I asked him, where did he train? And, do you have any advice for a kid in 7th grade? I feel like he blew me off. I'm going to have to try to track down the clip, but I really feel like he did. No, as a commissioner, no, he didn't commission me to do anything, unfortunately. And even worse than that, do you remember WWE New York, the restaurant?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've seen it. It's a fascinating story. But yeah, I think my brother went to the Hard Rock Cafe that's now there, I think.
Yes.
But yeah.
It used to be a movie theater before all that, but they used to do, and this is in the Invasion era, they used to do only commentary for Sunday Night Heat live from there. And it was like Michael Cole and Taz would be live at the restaurant doing commentary over taped matches as if they were live. And Taz left because I guess the invasion was over. He became a wrestler or something. Maybe he was feuding with Jerry Lawler. And Al Snow took over. And Al Snow's first episode there, I am prominently in the background the whole episode.
You show a picture of that. I've sort of seen that.
Yes, but okay, so my issue is, and what really bothers me is, because that aired on MTV, MTV owns that footage. So it's not on the network. And any episode I can find of it online is just horribly blurry. And I know it's me because I was wearing a fucking Taz shirt with the 13 in the middle. And I know that color orange and, whatever. But you can't tell it's me. Like a layman, you did not know what I look like at that age. So that really bothers me.
I was on television in 2005. In the back of my head, it was a show called The Great British Spelling Test.
Oh.
It was this awful throwaway, one-off thing that no one watched on ITV. And the teacher it was her moment. You could tell she always wanted to be on television. And this was her moment. So she was living up. So it was boys versus girls. And it was just like, there was a bit of the show where it was, we're going to go to the classroom and compare boys and girls spelling. The boys won. And we all stood up and went, yes! And we all celebrated. And the teacher just went, I didn't like that. And she made us do it again. Sitting down. She once again went, the boys. And then we all sat down and went, yeah! And it was terrible, and it was rubbish, it was disappointing, it was horrible to be on television, I hated it, and the back of my head was on television. And what was worse than that is a few months later, Jamie Oliver, the chef, came to the school, and my brother was on that show, and you could see his face. He got his face on television, on a show that everybody watched, and the back of my head was on television, and no one saw it, on a show that no one watched. It's been completely forgotten.
But have you tried to track it down?
Yeah, I have, but no one cares enough to. I think it's like one clip on Daily Motion or something.
Yes, of course.
It's not. Yeah, but who would want to watch that? I mean, why would you want to watch
Daily Motion always houses stuff that no one wanted to watch on YouTube.
But the thing is, it has Dark Side of the Ring on it because it's not on in the UK at the moment. There's a massive delay.
Oh.
We still haven't got the most recent series, Dark Side of the Ring, so I watch it on there. So it's good for that. I guess.
My favorite thing about Dark Side of the Ring, and first of all, I will say, both the guys who made it are fantastic. They're very nice. They do a great job. They asked me previously, I think when they first started filming, to be Eddie Guerrero and Bret Hart.
Well, that's very good. I mean, who wouldn't want to be Eddie Guerrero or Bret Hart?
No. Well, that tells you how many shadows are involved in the filming, that I could be Eddie Guerrero and Bret Hart. But I'm union and they're non-union. There's a whole thing. Anyway, my least favorite part is like, these are the real stories of blah, blah, blah. And then they will interview a guy who is like the biggest worker bullshit artist. And he's just like everything that people, this is just filled with lies. It's just another layer of lies.
Yeah, I mean, the worst one was John Stossel, and he was on the David Schultz episode.
Yes.
He was an arsehole, but then again, he always was. So.
But I loved it. I loved that, like, his little wink at the end.
Yeah. The bit where they go, what would you say to David Schultz? He goes, I would tell him to fuck you. You wouldn't say that. You'd be an idiot. He said they would pop your other eardrum.
I will say, where were we? Maybe at the first Starcade. I am a big Dave Schultz fan. I found him very interesting. And I also feel like had he not been excommunicated from the business, he ran very parallel to Steve Austin in terms of his promos and his, whatever. I saw him at a merch table and I was too afraid to go say hello. So I had to send someone else to get a picture for me.
Why don't you want to be on the show?
That would be great. That would be fantastic. I will say, like, Billy Gunn has been on the show. Steve Austin has been on the show. After Austin did it, I'm like, I guess I can ask everybody, like, what's their excuse?
Why don't you invite Gary Vee on the show? I know we spoke about him and how much we like him. Why don't you invite Gary on the show?
I would love to just. The only thing is, like, if I got in a room and I was like, hey, like, I don't like you and I want to talk about it, he would just be like, insist that his cameras are there. Like, his media machine is too much where he will always win because he'll get the content.
Yeah, you'll get what he wants out of it.
Yeah.
He'll make it look like you changed your mind. You like him.
Right.
You went in disliking him and you came out believing in Gary Vee. Something like that.
If I could if I could come with my own crew.
And you do coffee and underwear with Gary Vee's crew. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, and film my own version. So how are things since I last spoke to you? You're at the library still?
Yeah. So I'm working at a smaller library at the moment because when you work in a borough, you work in all of you can work in any of them. So I'm working in a smaller one at the moment, so it's a very dead. And when you do like the nursery rhymes and stuff, so when I was working in the other library, loads of people would turn up, and it's easier when you have lots of people turn up, lots of parents, lots of children. When you have one child turn up and one parent turn up, and that child isn't particularly interested, and you're trying to sing the Five Little Ducks song, it's tough and it's embarrassing and it's weird, and you feel like you're singing to yourself.
Is that Five Little Ducks went out to play?
Yeah, and went over the hill and far away.
So what was the deal there in that story? Like, yeah, over the hill and far away, Mother Duck said quack, 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 and then less ducks came back.
Less ducks, one of them got a lot. They all come back at the end though, so there is a happy ending.
So they were just fucking with the mother, is my understanding.
Yeah, it's not a good example for children because what it says is just go missing and it'll be fine. You run away from your mother,
yeah,
it'll be fine. Eventually you'll come back, and really that doesn't tend to happen.
I also think though it's a lesson for the mother, and maybe it's a song that should be directed at the parents because it is about the dangers of unsupervising your children.
Exactly, when children are unsupervised, they do stupid things.
Yeah, incredibly stupid things. What other songs do you sing to these kids?
There's one called Five Little Men and a Flying Saucer, which is very similar to Five Little Ducks. So the men go around the world, they're not interested, and then one of them disappears, and then they go around again, and then they all eventually just stop. They all just, there goes one man flew away. Wish, and then the next man flies away. Wish, and then eventually they all just fly away. They're so bored of looking at the earth and going around the world, they all just piss off.
Oh my God. That's absolutely terrible. Rob said, can you sing it to us?
What, you want me to sing
the space? Yes, this going around the world song. You don't. Go ahead.
My little man in a flying saucer flew around the world one day. They looked left and right, but they didn't like the sight, so one man flew away. Whoosh! That's that. Four little man in a flying saucer flew around the world one day. They looked left and right, but they didn't like the sight, so one man flew away. Whoosh!
All right. Skip to the end. Skip to the last one. Skip to them coming back.
One little man in a flying saucer flew around the world one day. He looked left and right, but he didn't like the sight, so the last man flew away.
So,
Wish, and then you stand up, and the kids stand up, and you.
So I'm sorry. Were they all in one, or they were all in their own?
All the men. Originally, they were all in the flying saucers together, and then they left the flying saucers.
So when you say wish, they've ejected themselves from the.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've ejected themselves from, they've flown away or something.
And they're floating aimlessly in space.
Yeah. Was that a bad moment for me? That you just singing that song? Was that?
No, look, everyone loved it. SM said, "What a good sport." People are clapping. And Ace wants to know what part of the UK you're from.
London, southeast London.
So there you go, Ace. SM has never heard this song before. You know, that song reminds me of this Twilight Zone episode, and I'm starting a movement where it's okay to spoil Twilight Zone episodes now. And there's one, and you see all these people, and the world is going to end. There's a nuclear, some shit going on. It's going to explode and blah, blah, blah. And we have to get out, and there's only one spaceship left, and there's all this shit. Anyway, like 3 people get on the spaceship, and they launch into outer space, and they're like, wow, like we survived. And they're like, where are we going to next? And they look out the window, and it's like, you see that little planet over there? It's called Earth. And that was like they're aliens. God. Or they're just like us.
Yeah.
So.
Twilight Zone episode used to freak me out. I think it was like the 80s Twilight Zone or something.
Yes.
I was watching it on some channel that shows old stuff years ago. And it was about a guy who buys a guitar, and the guitar follows him around, and then he ends up being cursed by the guitar. And that freaked me out. It made me not want to buy a guitar.
He's haunted by he just keeps showing up everywhere?
Yeah, so he throws the guitar away, and then it's just back in his car,
It's just an indestructible guitar?
Yeah, and he got success from the guitar, but the guitar wouldn't leave him alone.
So I see.
The guitar was there in his bedroom, but he got home.
See, they always used to do that with the common one would be to do that premise, but with a ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
Well, and what's easier about the ventriloquist dummy is that, you guys, you can make it talk, you can give it a name, you can give it a voice, but a guitar just goes like, wow,
Realistically, who's going to want to buy a ventriloquist dummy?
Right.
Realistically.
Sure. But I also feel like, if the guy's haunted by a guitar, what's the big deal? Just let it stay in the room. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
What is it going to do to you?
No, well, that's true. Someone wrote on the chats, do the children jeer you? And I'm sort of thinking, should they? Was it that bad? The children should be jeering me?
I don't think they should be. Well, I mean, they should be jeering that. The song is alarming.
Yeah. I can sing better than that. But the thing is, if I sing better than that, I just sound like an asshole. It's like when people do karaoke and they're good at it. No one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear good karaoke. It's funner if you're not good at it. I
will not do karaoke for that reason, because I feel like and it does sound very pompous, not that I'm Paul Anka, but I feel like I'm too good to be doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to phone it in.
I once went on a date with a woman, right? It was a karaoke bar, and they wanted me to sing karaoke, and I wouldn't do it. But she decided to sing "Break Stuff" by Limp Bizkit, and then she sang the first line of the song, got nervous, and walked off stage. I mean, there's ways you can start dates that are really, really, really bad, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Singing "Break Stuff" by Limp Bizkit, bottling it, and walking off. That's bad. I mean, that's not a good way to, no.
No, I can't think. Maybe the one Limp Bizkit song you could get away with on a date is his cover of "Behind Blue Eyes."
And that's just Behind Blue Eyes.
Right. Correct. Yes, it is. Well, how are you going to do the cover of Behind Blue Eyes, Fred? I'm going to do it. Okay, but I mean, how are you going to make it your own? Wow, because I will be singing it instead of the original guy. You know, it'll be me.
It was for a horror movie or something, and it's the video is just them in a white room, and it's like really, really, really sincere.
Yes.
It's trying to be really, really. It's just awful. It's like, what are you doing?
Yes.
Why are you doing this?
And I think it was one of those songs that, oh, this song is for this movie, but at no point does it appear in the movie.
Yeah. It appears like the credits at the end, and by that point, everyone's left.
Yes. Yes, because it's not like, you know, like the James Bond songs, they fucking start with it. Like, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
But like the Addams Family raps, you know, they do tuck them in. They don't even put them in the beginning of the credits. They tuck them in like midway through.
Yeah, I mean, also, why is the main song for movies always the one at the end when no one listens to that? Why is that the main song?
Exactly.
That's the start of the movie. It's like that's the end of it. It's not the main one.
Yeah.
The main one's the one that appears in the, opening credits. But talking of right back earlier on.
Yes.
There's nothing worse than telling a joke to people and they hate you for telling it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
You tell a joke and then they're just like, why would you do that? What's wrong with you?
Yes.
Like, wow. And it's awful. It's a horrible feeling. It's like when you try to be funny and then you do something that upsets people, and not in like an edgy kind of I'm trying to upset people kind of way. Like I'm not trying to really upset anyone, but people still take it. It's the worst feeling in the world. It really is awful. And I'm someone who gets embarrassed very easily, so that is just the worst thing for me. That's not the most embarrassing thing. That's why I remember that so well.
It's accidentally pulling the fire alarm.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have to calm everyone down, and then you have to do more work to explain it. Worse is when I will do a joke and no one gets it, and they assume it's just like they're not even upset. The first time I met Keith Lee, I was eating ice cream out of a pint, like a pint of ice cream. I was eating it with a spoon, and I met him. He walked in and he said, "Oh, hi, hey, how are you?" And I said, "Good, how are you?" And I went and I offered him the spoon as if I was going to feed him some ice cream. I went, "You want some?" And he went, "Oh, no, I'm good." And then he moved on, and my head started spinning, going, do men normally feed him ice cream? That he's like, how is this not? Or do you think I'm just a weird, like, you thought I was that weird that I will just feed you fucking ice cream?
And when you see Keith Lee now, do you just feel embarrassed? You just think about Keith Lee,
The next time I saw him, I was determined, and this is where it gets fucked up. Like, this is where, certain people, normal people, get off the train at that point. Okay? But I now have to ride it to the next stop for some fucking horrible, psychological reason. And I thought, okay, next time I see him, which was like a couple weeks later, I'm going to make sure I'm eating ice cream and I'm going to do the exact same thing again. Because I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that he was like, no big deal. And he came in and I was like, hey. And he said, man, you're always eating ice cream, huh? And then I became like, known, like I fucked myself. I've branded myself as like the ice cream guy. So, and I don't know if he knows. And this is the other thing. And this is where I go, oh my God, maybe I am not from this planet. I'm sure he's completely forgotten it and moved on, and it was never a big deal and nothing. So now for me to bring this up to him, he'd be like, the fuck you? Like Andrea said, so is this the Keith Lee version of Do the Horse, Bobby? I don't think so. Also, I don't think Bobby Fish remembers the horse thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know what you mean, because I remember once I went to a wrestling show once Jamie Hayter was wrestling, right?
Yes.
She did this thing where she gave me like the death stare, and I just sort of like, I didn't know what to do, so I just sort of smiled at her back, and she just did the most disgusting face possible. That is, I mean, she's a heel and everything, but now whenever I see Jamie Hayter, I get bad feelings. It's like, oh, that was a bad moment for me. Like, I was embarrassed about the fact that happened, and now she's on television every week,
Right.
and I like the show that she's on, but now I feel embarrassed because every time I see Jamie Hayter, I think of that time she looked at me, giving me the death stare when she was wrestling, when she was during her entrance, and I just sort of smiled in an awkward way, and then she just sort of, looks at me horribly. And
you know,
so, when I'm wrestling her now, that's what I think about.
I like Seth Meyers. I used to watch his segments like not every morning, but a couple times a week. And, you know, I'm brushing my teeth and getting ready in the morning. And since he mentioned my name with David, I've been unable to watch it.
Yeah.
I feel like he knows and like he doesn't care for me, and I'm like, he knows I'm watching this, and he's like, you're still watching my show. So it's very upsetting. Rob said, did Keith Lee bounce you into the crowd after this happened? No, he did not. Nail said, we need to come full circle and have a video of you feeding Keith Lee ice cream. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Maybe as a custom video somewhere. Someone's up for that.
That would be fine. I'll throw some blue mats down in the living room and have ourselves. Do you remember how old are you, Leo?
27.
Okay. Do you remember those non-WWE magazines, those wrestling magazines, and like the insane ads they would have in the back of them?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, there's old wrestling magazines that are like from the 60s and 70s, and like wrestling fans have always been stupid. And in the back, like, because in the back they're selling like X-ray glasses and shit. X-ray glasses and like, oh, you can see through a woman's dress. And you're like, oh my God. And they're selling those, do you remember back in the day, like muscle men would just be like, I got strong with this. And it's just one of those hand squeeze grip things.
Yeah.
They're selling those. And they're selling pills, and nowhere in the ad do they actually disclose what the pill does, just that it makes you more of a man.
Oh, well, I think we all know what that does.
Yes.
Well, what it's supposed to do, but it probably doesn't do. Yeah, because I remember when I used to get like WWE magazines, that was SmackDown and Raw both had a magazine.
Yes.
And they didn't change the adverts when they used to sell them in the UK. So you used to get adverts, things like YJ Stinger and Taco Bell and things that we didn't have over here. So I used to see all this stuff, but it's just like, well, I don't know what this is. You're just bewildered by it.
YJ Stinger had a very, very limited run, period. Yeah, it was and I don't know if they had bought it or became co-owners, but there was like a very big campaign for it. Do you remember when there was fucking no energy drinks? And then there was, do you know what I mean? Like, there was nothing at one point.
It was just Red Bull or something else, yeah.
Yes. It was like early 2000s was like Red Bull. And everyone was like, it was like this new invention. It was like the Tesla. You know, people are like, oh, you see this? It's like coffee, but soda. And yeah, YJ Singer had all these commercials, and I could never find it anywhere. I also remember that there was a drink called Raw Fuel, and it had the Raw logo on it. I have to look this up. Yes, but also,
remember those Ghostbusters drink, Ghostbusters soda. It had like Ghostbusters in the can.
Yes. Yes. This had much smaller circulation for sure. A said I pulled a big show on the chat, and I would love to know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Andrea said, yeah, Mark Ruffalo is definitely a sworn enemy of mine now, which is fucking fantastic, which is great.
I don't really know Mark Ruffalo. I mean, I know who he is, but what's he been in? Because I'm familiar with who he is. Obviously, everyone's a Hollywood actor. But what's he been? I've never seen a Mark Ruffalo movie.
He's the Incredible Hulk.
Is he? Oh,
yeah, he played the Hulk after. Do you remember the horrible Ed Norton one?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, well, there's a horrible Mark Ruffalo one too. Can anyone else? I can't remember what else he's in. Rob said, who wants to ask Keith his memory of the series of events Look, feel free to tweet him. Who knows if he'll answer or not.
Tweets at mine as well, and then you will, completely ruin his.
Yeah.
I mean, he won't see it; someone else will. But just go on there and tweet him more and more. Just way too many times about him giving you this sort of brush off on his show.
I can't believe they didn't just edit that out completely. What a bizarre shoehorn at the end of that segment.
How many people?
Oh,
yes.
Sean said there's no solo Ruffalo Hulk movie, but he's in the Avengers and the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
So there you go. Anyway, do you have anything to plug?
You can go on my Instagram. It's Leo Montford, my name, and you'll find me on there. If you want to do that, if anyone wants to do that, that'd be nice.
Montford.
Yeah. So
okay.
like the thing on the you can do that, and so you like Simpsons stuff. Like I have Simpsons stuff on there. So yeah, cool.
My favorite Simpsons joke ever is we now return to the return of the Pink Panther returns.
Yeah, it was a good one.
That was like, all right, thank you. And it was so quick and throwaway. And I'm like, you guys could have just wasted this and you didn't, but thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go do your day and go support your local library, everyone.
Indeed, yeah, please do.
Goodbye, Leo. Thank you for joining me.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. Sweet fella, sweet man, and sweet show, and sweet people today, and coffee, and so on. And speaking of sweetness, let's get a final shot of the underwear here. Fine ice cream. You get the gist. And if you want some coffee, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but rootlesscoffee.com would be nice. Godspeed and God bless.